Hi, welcome to VNN. Our guest today is Raquel Dancho, a conservative shadow minister for public safety and MP for Kildonan, St. Paul, Manitoba. MP Dancho is also vice chair of the Public Safety and National Security Committee in Parliament. Our topic today is about 30,000 or so foreign offenders who face deportation from Canada and who have disappeared into our communities and nobody knows where. Welcome to VNN, MP Dancho.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
I mean, there are reports, coming to the crux of the matter. Is Canada becoming a soft country? Is it a haven now for international criminals?
Well, I think it's a good question. What is clear is that Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government are not maintaining the integrity of our border. We have a border with the United States, and we know over the past, since 2017, when Justin Trudeau sent a social media tweet out into the community, he said, "Welcome to Canada," in response to the President of the United States. And as a result, we saw thousands and thousands and thousands of people illegally cross our border and come to Canada. And we estimate there's been about 100,000 people who have come here illegally by walking across the US-Canada border. And now, as you know, Canada is a country of immigrants. The Conservative Party greatly supports strong, robust immigration, but we support those who come here legally and follow the rules, and it's really important that we have that. We also believe it's important that Canada provide a refugee safe haven for the world's most vulnerable, those that are fleeing wars. But the problem is, at the border, they're not fleeing any war zone. They're coming up from the United States, which is a safe country. Yeah, so it puts a lot of strain on our immigration system and our refugee system. And so if there are Canadians who are waiting to get their parents to Canada, their sisters, their brothers, their wives, that is being backlogged by the people who are coming here illegally across the border.
I mean, according to reports, there are about, 400 foreign criminals waiting to be deported, including offenders convicted of multiple sexual offenses. I mean, which province are they hiding in? Any idea?
That's a good question. We don't have any idea. And as you said, there's about 30,000 people that are here illegally. They're supposed to be deported, and we can't find them. The federal government, Trudeau's government, cannot find them. And of that 30,000, 500 of them, as you've mentioned, are criminals. So they've done very bad things, and we don't know where they are. And then of that 500, 30 of those are murderers and rapists. So this is very serious and very scary that there are that many people out there that we don't know where they are. And I think it just shows that the Liberal government does not have a firm hold on crime.
Right.
We are seeing, in fact, since Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister of Canada, we have seen a 32% increase of violent crime in our communities. And actually, it amounts to 124,000 additional violent crimes last year compared to 2015. That's how much crime has increased in this country, and they're not doing anything about it.
I mean, some of these criminals have been knowingly released from detention, isn't it? Around, I think I was reading about it, the 30 offenders are guilty of very serious crimes like culpable homicide, and they have been released from jails.
It's very odd that they were released. You think that if they were going to be deported, they would be released from jail and then en route to deportation. Right? Yeah. So it's clearly a failure of our justice system to ensure that the most dangerous people are kept away from our communities. And again, it's just very concerning, and it really plays into a broader issue that the Liberal government is facing under Justin Trudeau, that he's failing to keep communities safe. The facts show that Canada is less safe now in our communities than they were before Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister. So what the Liberals have done in the past few years, they brought forward a number of soft on crime policies that lets the criminals just kind of go in a revolving door, in and out of jail, back in our communities, terrorizing our communities, in and out of jail. And it's just not right. We need to ensure that dangerous people are kept in jail, away from our families, away from our communities, and that's just not happening under Justin Trudeau.
I mean, who is responsible ultimately? Which ministry, or which minister, or is the whole government as a whole?
Well, certainly the buck stops with the Prime Minister. It is happening under his watch. Again, there's been a 32% increase in violent crime since he's been Prime Minister. And certainly it falls on the Minister of Public Safety as well to maintain peace and order in Canada and ensure our Canadians are safe. The Minister of Public Safety is responsible for our border. So the fact that the border is so weak, it's porous, it has many holes, people are just walking on in. That's his responsibility. It also falls on the RCMP to ensure that they're apprehending these criminals and working with the local police agencies to make sure that's done, which is also falling under the Minister of Public Safety. So certainly the Minister of Public Safety, Marco Mendicino, and the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, should and are responsible for this.
And what happens when, say, a warrant expires? I mean, does the criminal escape scrutiny after that?
Well, it certainly would appear so. I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but it would appear that when a warrant expires, it's that much more difficult to apprehend them.
I mean, is the COVID pandemic to blame? I mean, if that is a convenient excuse, then there's nothing to be done over 2 years.
You know that this government has been using the pandemic to make many excuses. They've used the pandemic to make excuses for passports. I'm not sure if any of your viewers have had a hard time getting passports in the last 6 months, but it's been extremely difficult. That is a government service that the federal government is responsible for. Our airports are also regulated by the federal government. If you go through Toronto, it's been very, very backlogged. People are losing their bags. There seems to be very few government services that are being delivered effectively at the federal level. The provinces are doing okay. They went through COVID too, but it seems any service provided by the federal government is seriously in jeopardy and not providing good service to Canadians. And we pay for those services through our tax dollars, and we deserve good service.
I mean, is the judicial review process of these removal orders creating delays? Is the judiciary to blame for much of this?
Well, it's a good question. Our courts are quite backlogged, but I would say in terms of all immigration and all the legitimate legal streams of immigration and refugee and asylum claims, those are being backlogged because of the border issue, because of the 100,000 odd people who just walked across our border with their luggage. Those people have unfortunately caused serious delays with our legal and legitimate immigration. So if there's people that are waiting for family members and it's taken a very long time, this is why. If there are people fleeing persecution in other countries and it's taken a long time, this is part of the reason. So not to say there aren't people who have legitimate claims coming across the border. There are. It's estimated that 1 in 5 may have a legitimate claim. But again, that means that 4 out of 5 do not. So it's very concerning.
I mean, are these criminals? I mean, they are defended in court through legal aid paid by taxpayers.
That's correct.
That's a bit of an irony, isn't it? Why should the government do that?
Well, it seems very odd. I would agree. Just the way that our public system works, and certainly we support a publicly funded justice system. That's important. And so whenever anyone in this country, whether they're a citizen or not, violates the law, they go through a public court system. So my hope, though, is that we could speed up the process and we can find people that are a danger to society and make sure that they are deported like they should be. And it's just disappointing to see that there's 500 criminals that are supposed to be deported that are just running around our streets. We don't know where they are. 30 of them have committed very serious offenses like murder and sexual assault. So it's a big deal.
And what's the Conservative Party's proposal to ensure speedy deportation of such people?
But well, certainly those who are here illegally need to be deported. Those who do not have legitimate asylum claims need to be deported. You can come, many people can come to this country legally. We have millions of legitimate immigrants coming every few years. We have a very robust system. In fact, Canada has the largest and most robust immigration system in the world. We bring in more immigrants than anywhere else per capita. And that's very important. We need to grow our country and reunite families. But it just has to be done the right way. It has to be done the legal way. Otherwise, it puts strain on our legal system, and that hurts everybody.
I mean, what's the immediate steps that you would suggest that the government ought to do?
Well, if we were in charge and Pierre Poilievre was our Conservative Prime Minister, I do believe he would ensure that the Minister of Public Safety's #1 priority is ensuring criminals who are here illegally are deported. That message has to come from the top. That leadership has to come from the boss and tell his minister, this is critical. You need to put resources behind this. So if that message was clearly communicated from the Prime Minister to the Public Safety Minister, I do believe we would have more action on this and we would have effective action on this. But that is not happening. It is not a priority of Justin Trudeau. It is not a priority of the Minister of Public Safety. And so here we are.
What happened in this press conference today? I mean, I missed that anyway.
So today, actually the former Minister of Public Safety, his name is Bill Blair. He's now a minister of a different department, but he is a minister of Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
I called for him to resign. It was found that he lied to us in a parliamentary committee, which is a very, very big no-no. You may recall about 2.5 years ago, there was that terrible mass killing in Nova Scotia where 22 Canadians were murdered. And during that time, we have found out that Minister Bill Blair and the Justin Trudeau Liberal government looked at the deaths of the 22 people as a political opportunity so that they can get a piece of gun control legislation passed. And so we have found out that the Minister of Public Safety put a lot of pressure on the top of our RCMP, the commissioner of the RCMP, to ensure there was some sort of maneuvering so that they could take advantage of the deaths of those 22 people and get their laws passed as a result, to put it simply. And we had him before our committee this summer, a very important meeting. And we found out yesterday that he lied at that committee. He told us lies. And so today I asked for him to resign. It's important for Parliament that our politicians are honest, or else the whole system is just irrelevant. It doesn't have any integrity. If politicians can come to work and just lie when they're in the House of Commons, that should mean they have to resign, because Canadians elect us to come here and speak the truth. And so when a minister makes lies like that and tries to take advantage of the death of 22 people to further his political agenda, that's repulsive. And so for those two reasons, we've asked him to resign.
Will he?
Well, I think he should. I think if he has any integrity, he would do the honorable thing and resign.
Yeah, the gun control law came into effect now, isn't it? So because today, I think the Prime Minister has tweeted about it.
Yes, he has. So unfortunately, the Liberal government circumvented our democratic process. Right now, we have a piece of legislation, a law that's coming before our committee that has to do with that ban. And so that there's an important democratic process there. So we get expert police witnesses and other witnesses to come, and we ask them about the bill. Do you think it's a good bill? Do you think it's a bad bill? What should we do about it? So we're just in the middle of that right now. So the Liberal government jumped the gun. They jumped over the democratic process and passed this through like a backdoor sneaky way. And so for us, we said, well, look, we haven't even finished the democratic process yet, and you're passing it down in the back door. So that's not fair. This is a monumental change to Canada's firearm laws, and it needs to be given important consideration in the committee process, and they've circumvented that process completely. So we're quite disappointed that they've done that. We think it really makes a farce out of our democratic process.
I think we can suggest banning of kitchen knives as well now.
Well, yes, there you go. Maybe it could be next. Well, I do have to say, I do believe they will move to ban all hunting guns. I think that is next on the list. If you noticed in his tweet, he said they want to do everything they can to get guns out of our communities. But I'm a member of my community. My husband and I go hunting together. So we have hunting rifles. We've had them in my family for 100 years. This is a very normal part of our lives. We provide really healthy, nutritious wild meat on our family table. It helps keep the grocery bill down. It's a very normal thing in rural Canada. So I do believe that if he has his way, he will ensure that entire process is wiped out. And I know that new immigrants as well are interested in going out into our beautiful Canadian wilderness and hunting with their sons and daughters, and they should be allowed to do that. That's an important part of history in Canada. But unfortunately, Justin Trudeau is trying to eliminate that from Canada.
Thank you, MP Dancho, for throwing some light on this very important topic. And we hope you continue your fight in Parliament. Canada must be safe for everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. It was very much a pleasure to be here with you today. And thank you to all your listeners for tuning in to stay informed. It's wonderful the service you provide to your community.
Thank you, MP Dancho.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.